Greetings, my friends, and welcome to yet another year. You may be wondering about the intro here. Is 4, 5, a custom Uru age? Neither. It is one of the great architectural works of Antoni Gaudí. Yeah, I actually spent the Christmas holidays in Barcelona and visited 3 of Gaudí's works, being Casa, Míla, Casa Batlló, and Güell, or actually Güell. So why the Myst music? Well, that is what actually came to mind when viewing the virtual tour of Casa Batlló. Which makes me wonder a bit. Did Rand Miller get inspiration from Gaudí, or is it just the organic nature of the architecture? That's the thing about Gaudí's buildings, not a single straight line, yet impossibly stable, and functional too. Should make it mandatory for architect students to make a field trip out there and study his works. Now, because Spain doesn't really celebrate Christmas on the 24th or 25th, I didn't get any presents. Not that it matters any. The important thing is that you have a good time with people you know, like your family. Only thing special around then could possibly be meatball soup. The only Christmas Spain celebrates would be Reyes on the 6th of January, when the 3 wise kings come with gifts to Jesus. It didn't stick around that long though. By the way, made a bit of a discovery. As you know, there are a lot of social medias out on the web now. I'm part of 1 or 2, but none of the things like Facebook or Twitter. However, I got invited to one of these and I was sort of okay with it. But when I signed up and said a few things, I got a recommendation from this site, some of the people I had sent emails to. This got me wondering a bit. All social medias in some way linked? That they actually share personal details with each other? Well, I guess that's what today's social medias are going for. To be able to share your personal details so it is easier for you to get in contact with the people you've got in your black book. And in order to maximize your contact relevance, they need to know who you've talked to the most, who you're related to, and who you went to bed with. Now, considering how easy these suggestions come up, it wouldn't surprise me if spambots got a hold of this information as well. So, what will I bring to 2016? More Gareth Mod shenanigans? Portal 2? Source Filmmaker? Well, sad to say, my laptop has been struck by the red screen of death. Actually, more of a rosy screen. I was playing around with the game and suddenly the screen went black. I could hear that the game was still running, but when I took a closer look, it seemed like the backlight had just turned itself off. I pressed the key combination to turn it back on, nothing. I tried again, and the screen was back again, for about 5 seconds. I lowered the strength of the backlight and it seemed to stay, but slowly started to leave. Everything still seems to be functional, but it seems like something's overheated somewhere. Let me show you what's happening here. Now, the backlight is turned off at the moment, so if I turn it on, not sure if you can see that, it is red and flickering. Now I'm going to turn this all the way up and see how long it lasts. Didn't even manage to get to its natural color before switching off. So, now there is a possibility of getting this fixed, but the initial checkup will cost over €100. And if there is a replacement for the screen, it will be an additional €320. I can connect it to an external screen, but all I have are VGA screens, so I won't get my native HD resolution, which is what I was most comfortable working in with Hammer. I know I could go out and buy myself an HD screen, but I've been thinking of getting a stationary, and maybe I'll get a rebate for the bundle. Plus, I'm not sure if I want to push my laptop any further with the Gareth Mod and Portal 2 editings. Source Filmmaker doesn't really work on the laptop because of, graphics cards. And it feels so slow to load Gareth Mod all of a sudden. Maybe it's because of the resources I've downloaded and the RAM and swap files and such. I seem to jump between the games so often that who knows what's happening in the hard drive. I'm a bit split between getting a new laptop and a new stationary because my economy isn't quite there yet. A stationary is more customizable, maybe more powerful, but a laptop would be nice to have so that I can go around showing stuff to friends and stream parties like the Slay Radio Gathering. I've looked around for a laptop of this caliber and build-it-yourself stationaries, and the cost goes anywhere between 6/8 and 7/8 of my capital. Not sure if I want to spend all my money there. Now, before you suggest crowdfunding, I'm not particularly comfortable with eBay. I've heard of these places like Kickstarter and Patreon, such places, but I feel that if I go into that, I will have to show something exclusive each time someone gives me money. And I'm more of the type that releases something to everyone when it is ready to be released. Not sure if I can keep up putting out my every move to the funding sites for the people giving me money. If you say credits in all of my videos is enough, I feel I'll definitely forget that, as well as how far back to credit. Although if I do manage to afford a new computer one way or another, I do have ideas involving Source Filmmaker and Garismod. Of course, before I can present something like a beautiful music video, I have to learn how Source Filmmaker handles its scenes and animations. By looking at the tutorials, it does seem very complicated. If I can throw around ragdolls in Source Filmmaker, I doubt I'll need Garismod, but I won't know until I get Source Filmmaker running. Well, thinking of the choice between stationery and laptop, if you have any unused laptops lying around somewhere, you could send those to me, and all I have to worry about is finding the money for a stationery. The only requirement is that the power cord and power adapter can be separated. Why? Well, it is because if the wall plug is different from those we have in Europe, I wouldn't want to buy a wall socket adapter that will take up too much space in the wall sockets. I could easily go to the nearest electronics store and get the power cord that will fit the adapter, if they are still around. But yeah, if you want to donate something, be it money, laptop, or a field audio recorder, DM me and we'll talk business. On another note, any more reviews? Possibly one or two. Let's see here. Yeah. Don't think I'll do a Sonic Boom review, seeing as the second season is in the works. Although I fear it may be the same thing, and talking about season 1 will cover everything, I don't want to jinx giving ideas or say something that may change things. I don't know, it's just the way I roll, I guess, to review a completed series. If something pops up after my review, well, then that's it. But it is sort of what I established when I started this. Where there's a series that I watched, and there are multiple series of the same franchise, I cannonball the whole thing from the first to the last. The last that I know of. If through my research I see another one is in the works, then I hold off on the review. The Sonic, I took all 5 cartoons on their own, trying to fit everything into 15 minutes, and because it was complete at the time, I bunched all parts into over an hour's review and uploaded them to sites that would accept over an hour. But it is getting a little tough because there are things I want to talk about, but they are either ongoing or something new in the franchise has just started. Maybe I should break my pattern and make it seasonal episodes. There is this ongoing series that I feel I have so much to talk about that it may just end up being seasonal. But maybe I should keep it short and concise for each series, and maybe later do a individual episode or season analysis. What am I gonna do? On a completely different note, I've been having thoughts and I'm wondering, should I start a Q&A? Don't start putting your questions in the comments now. All I want to know is how many are interested in getting to know me better or just throwing random questions my way. If there is enough interest, I will make a special video and a special system for the occasion. It will help keep things organized for both you and me, and to make sure there aren't any duplicate questions. Well, I guess I'll close on that, knowing that the ending can never truly be written.